The rain poured like the sky was grieving that night. A black Mercedes slowed beside a dimly lit street, its headlights cutting through the storm. Inside sat a man whose life had everything: power, money, and silence, the kind that money can't cure. Then, through the downpour, he saw her. A small girl, maybe 8 or 9, sitting on the wet pavement, hugging her knees, shivering. One of her legs was wrapped in a broken brace, and her tears blended with the rain. Something inside him cracked open, something he thought had died long ago. He rolled down the window and whispered through the storm, "Hey, come with me." And that one sentence would change both their lives forever. Chapter 1. The Night of Rain and Regret. Ethan Cole was a name everyone in the city knew. A self-made millionaire at 38, he built his fortune in real estate, turning forgotten buildings into gold. But success had come with a cost: his wife, gone too soon in a car crash 3 years ago. Since then, Ethan had lived in a silent mansion with only his 6-year-old son, Noah, and the ghosts of memories that refused to fade. He didn't stop for strangers. Not anymore. But that night, as the wipers beat against the windshield, something made him stop. Maybe it was the way the girl's shoulders shook under the weight of the world. Maybe it was because she reminded him of his late wife, fragile, small, and carrying pain no child should. He parked and ran out into the rain. The little girl flinched when he knelt beside her. "Hey, you okay?" Ethan's voice was gentle, but his heart was pounding. She looked up, startled. Her eyes, deep brown and full of fear, darted between him and the street. Her lips trembled. I lost my mom," she whispered. "She told me to wait here, but she didn't come back." Ethan felt his chest tighten. "How long have you been here?" "I don't know," she said, her voice breaking. "It's cold. My leg hurts." Ethan noticed the brace, old, bent, and soaked through. Without thinking, he took off his coat and wrapped it around her. "Come with me," he said quietly. She hesitated. "You're a stranger." He nodded. "You're right. But you don't have to be afraid. My name's Ethan. I have a son, he's just a little older than you. You can rest at our home tonight, and tomorrow, we'll find your mom. I promise." Something in his voice, maybe the way it cracked slightly, made her believe him. He lifted her into his arms, and for the first time in years, Ethan felt something stir in his heart: purpose. At his mansion, Noah ran to the door when he heard the car. "Dad, who's that?" Ethan set the girl down gently on the couch. "This is our guest. She needs a place to rest tonight." Noah, always curious, grinned shyly. "Hi, I'm Noah." The girl blinked. "I'm Lily." The warmth of the house, the smell of hot cocoa, and the softness of the couch brought tears to her eyes. Ethan's house, once a shell of luxury and loneliness, suddenly felt alive again. That night, after Lily fell asleep on the couch, Ethan sat by the fire, staring at her small face. Something inside him whispered that maybe, just maybe, she hadn't come into his life by accident. Chapter 2. The Promise. The next morning, Lily woke to the smell of pancakes and laughter. For a moment, she forgot everything: the rain, the cold, the fear. She watched Noah teasing his dad, and for the first time in what felt like forever, she smiled. Ethan noticed. "Good morning, Lily. How's your leg?" "It hurts a little," she said quietly. "But your couch is really soft." He chuckled. "That couch cost a fortune. Glad it's finally useful." Lily giggled, a sound so pure it filled the room with something Ethan hadn't felt in years: peace. Later that day, Ethan drove her to the police station to report her missing mother. They waited for hours, but no one came. Days passed, and the investigation led nowhere. The address Lily remembered was an old shelter that had been closed for months. Lily's smile faded again. "She wouldn't just leave me," she whispered one night. "She promised." Ethan sat beside her, unsure how to answer. He knew what it felt like to lose someone who'd made promises they couldn't keep. Weeks turned into months. Ethan hired doctors for Lily's leg, therapists for her trauma, tutors for her schooling. Slowly, the house transformed, laughter echoed again, the kitchen smelled of cookies and crayons, and Noah finally had someone to play with. One evening, as they watched the sunset from the balcony, Lily turned to Ethan and asked, "Why did you stop that night?" Ethan paused, his eyes distant. "Because I saw myself in you. Lost. Alone. And I wished someone had stopped for me once, too." Lily leaned against his shoulder. Thank you, for finding me. Tears filled his eyes. No, sweetheart. You found me. Years later, Ethan officially adopted her. Lily walked across the stage at her graduation, her once broken leg now strong, her heart full. She looked out into the crowd and saw Ethan and Noah cheering, both with tears in their eyes. She smiled through her own tears and whispered, "You told me to come with you that night. I didn't know then, that you were taking me home." Ending message. Sometimes, the people we save aren't the ones who are lost, it's us. Because love doesn't always arrive in grand gestures, sometimes, it comes quietly, in the middle of the rain, whispering.